Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Small Home Comforts. I am Beth, and I'm here in my book corner for the finale of our live get-togethers for the Small Home Comforts Book Box launch week. So we're gonna have a tea note giveaway. We're gonna have a little bit of trivia, and I thought it would be fun to get together and do this one last time. So I'm just getting the technology here together so that we can get all on the same page. Yes, I think finally, you guys, I'm finally getting the tech to work. So if you are here, just let me know in the comments. I can't always see when somebody joins. But if you are sending comments through, I can see those come up. So like I said, just pop those in the comments and I'll see that you are here. So I'm looking forward to welcoming you this afternoon, just for something, just fun and quick. I thought it would be fun to do a little trivia this afternoon. So I have a list. I wrote down a list of quotes from some lovely books, perhaps some that are well known, and perhaps some that you might know if you have received one of my book boxes in the past. So I thought that might be fun to just kind of do together. And of course, we will have a tea note giveaway at the end because we are celebrating the end of the week for launch week. So you'll still see, I'm still going to post some regular posts over the weekend just to kind of, continue being excited about it. But for these live get-togethers, today is the last one because I thought we would welcome people who have signed up. I have it's been such a so exciting and so lovely to have connected with so many of you this week. I have welcomed in new subscribers. This week, I have chatted with old subscribers who are excited about the new box coming out, which ships on April 1st. So as of right now, I still do have one book box left available. Everybody else, all of the other ones have been claimed. So I want to just kind of give a shout out to some of the people who have joined me this week. Debbie and Martha, Virginia, Megan and Tammy and Mary. Oh my goodness, you guys. I am so looking forward to reading Listening Valley with you all. I think we're going to have so much fun. And of course, you'll get all the bookish goodies in that box. So I'm excited. I am excited for you to be here. So I thought let's start off with a little trivia. I think there's just only a couple of us here right now. So if you're the only one here, feel free to answer if you know it. I thought we could do who said it, or no, not who said it. Which book is this quote from? Okay. I thought that might be a fun little game to play. So I'm going to read the first quote, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about D.E. Stevenson's book. So the first quote I thought would be fun is "Let us be elegant or die." Do you know what book that's from? I'm going to tell you in just a little bit. So if you know, put it in the chat. And we can, kind of have a little party started here. And while you are doing that, I'll say it again, let us be elegant or die. Isn't that fun? Okay, so as you know, Listening Valley is the book that is included in the spring book box. The author is D.E. Stevenson, who is a Scottish author. I almost said actor. I don't know why I said that. Who is a Scottish author. And she wrote a lot of very enjoyable books. And one of them that I just kind of wanted to highlight was this one called Victoria Cottage. This one has such charming characters. And I want to read to you a little bit from the introduction, which was written by Alexander McCall Smith, who, as you know, wrote the #1 Ladies Detective mysteries, which are super popular. I have not, I think I started one once, but I never got into it, although I hear such good things that I would like to try again. But he wrote the introduction. here in Victoria Cottage. And just to kind of give you a taste, if you don't know D.E. Stevenson's work, this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what she's like. And so he wrote, that leads us to a general conclusion about Stevenson's work. These are not necessarily novels in which there is a great deal of drama, but for those who wish to spend time amongst characters leading fairly ordinary lives, these novels will provide considerable enjoyment. These are gentle books, very fitting for times of uncertainty and conflict. Some books can be prescribed for anxiety, and these are in that category, and it is an honorable and important one. I thought that was so nice, that how it spoke to the gentleness of these books, the accessibility of these books, and the ability of these books to transport us to kind of a different maybe state of mind. Just the fact that they are so gentle. And that's one of the things that I really liked about Listening Valley, which I keep pointing like behind me because I can't see it when I'm facing you. But Listening Valley, it is set in leading up and during World War II. So it's kind of a time of unrest. In addition, our main character, Tanya, has some physical disabilities that she is navigating, as well as some relational relationships that she has to navigate as well. And they're all just kind of done in such a gentle and lovely way. And of course, the setting of these places also always really appeals to me. So this particular one is mostly in Scotland, although part of the time is in London. And I think they travel internationally just for a very brief period. That's not where like the main setting is. And the Scottish countryside is just something that captures the imagination. I did put something in the book box that kind of captures that Scottish countryside-esque feel, and I can't wait for you guys to see how it goes along with the book. So anyway, that was just kind of a fun thing. So let's go back to the quote. Nobody put anything in. This may not be a good time for everybody to be here, but I thought it would be fun just to kind of hang out. So the book that Let Us Be Elegant or Die is Little Women. When they are getting ready, when Joe and Meg are getting ready to go to a party, and they are talking about how Meg's shoes were pinching and Joe's hairpins were like sticking into her hair. But of course they must look their best to be elegant at the party. So it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek little thing that they were saying, which I thought was kind of fun. So let's do another one, shall we? If you know this one, just pop it in the chat and we can have a little back and forth here. So this one says, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. And this is the narrator, and it is the first line of a book. And another hint is that if you got the winter book box, you may know what this is referring to, because in every box that I send out, I put some cards in there, little like invitation to our online bookish chat that we have, kind of book club style, via Zoom. I put product notes in there. I put further reading suggestions. And for the winter book box, some of the further reading suggestions. So the winter book box, I chose The Scarlet Pimpernel as our classic read. And that is set in the French Revolution. And another book that is also set in the French Revolution that I always really liked was written in there as well. And so I made that a further reading suggestion in the winter book box. And the first line of that is, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So there's a little hint for you. If you know the title, put it in the chat. If you're on Instagram too, put it in the chat. I have to check my Instagram comments over here because of the way the technology works. So, but I can see it. And if you would like to guess which book that was from, you can pop that in there. And if you don't know, just wait for a little bit, and I will reveal the answer to that. So, like I said, I put further reading suggestions in every box that I do, because I feel like, when you want to, when you've read a book, and if you love it, you want to find, or if you love the style of it, or perhaps the subject of it, you kind of want to explore more. And so I thought that, how fun it would be to, after you finish this book, what should I read next? Where should I go from here? If I liked this, what else would I like? And that is, I think, I'm going to take a little sip of my tea, because I'm sitting here chatting and talking. So I need a little wet my whistle a little bit. But I thought that would be such a benefit, to be part of the book box, because in addition to all of the physical items, that are in there that are cozy, the candle, the tea, I thought it would just really enhance the reading experience to know, where to go from here. I used to I used to want to know, I was like getting recommendations, and as opposed to just like, now, don't get me wrong, I do like to go to the library and just peruse the shelves, because that is also so much fun. But it is kind of nice to kind of have a recommendation given to you. When you say, "Oh, this is the kind of book I like," um, for somebody to come back and say, "Oh, if you liked that book, you might love this book too." I remember some time ago, I love Jane Austen, and as so many do, right? And so I remember some time ago, I was talking to some people about that. And on two separate occasions, two different people said to me, "Oh, have you read Georgette Heyer?" And I had not. And I had not, I did not even know about Georgette Heyer. And Georgette Heyer, who I've been talking about a lot this year on my account, was a historical romance novel writer. And she was very, she educated herself very much on the ways and the how people talked back in the Regency period. She has a couple different periods that she writes in, but Regency romances is one of them. And if you like Jane Austen, you might love that. And somebody said that once to me. Two different people actually recommended Georgette Heyer to me right in the same amount of time. And I was like, this is like some kind of sign that I need to read Georgette Heyer. And I did. This was a few years ago. And I did end up, I found her, and I loved them. I absolutely loved them, because if you like something like Jane Austen, then you probably would like something like Georgette Heyer as well. And I just think that that's so fun. That's something that I like to, I feel like that's a service that I can give as both on my accounts and in my book box, is like to find other books that if you liked this one, you may also like this one too, So, if you like Agatha Christie, you might like Patricia Wentworth. Patricia Wentworth wrote the Miss Silver mysteries, which are often cozy countryside manor mysteries. Not all of them, but often. And that's a very, niche genre right there. But it's one that I love. And I loved Agatha Christie for years. And then a few years back, I discovered Patricia Wentworth. And I just blew through her like almost the entire set of Miss Silver novels. Not all of them though. I stopped myself because I was like, I loved them so much that I didn't want it to end. And so do you guys ever have that experience? You just don't want it to end. And so so I haven't read all of them because I'm saving some to savor. Turns out she wrote not just the Miss Silver ones, but some other ones as well, which I'm looking forward to exploring. And anyway, so I figured that was like a nice benefit to add to the book box. So in addition to the physical items, which are just so lovely to actually get cozy with, you also get in the box, these extras, whether it's, further reading suggestions or an invitation in to come and chat about the book club style. I also, tell you about the different products and where I sourced them from, because when I can, I like to buy from other small businesses as well. So give them a little love and connect them to the book. So, there's a whole like double component of the box, which kind of goes into like these bookish chats that we often do here at Small Home Comforts. Every Thursday night I go live. So, you like that. If you like that old fashioned vibe in a book, if you like receiving happy mail, those kind of things, if you like to get cozy, while you're reading, which are all things that I personally have loved and do continue to love. I thought it would be, that was kind of my idea how I came up with this book box. So, anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I think my main point was that it's so nice to be able to find your next read, once you found something that you really love, which brings me back to the quote that I said. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Nobody put a comment in. So I'm just going to, give you the answer, which was A Tale of Two Cities. So that was one of the further reading suggestions that I popped into the winter box because it is also a story of the French Revolution. And that's just such a classic first line. So did you guys ever, this is another tangent, but A Tale of Two Cities, I remember watching the movie adaptation with Ronald Colman, who I just love old movies. And so a lot of these old books I will watch as old movies as well. And so it says in there, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of light. It was the age of darkness. So we had everything before us. We had nothing before us. In short, a period very much like the present. I didn't get that exactly right, but close. Something like that is how A Tale of Two Cities opens. The other thing that I like to do is book flights. So, if you like this book, you might like this book as well. And you kind of put them together. So some book flights, or even like duos, sometimes flights, you might think 3 or more. But sometimes I'll just do 2. Like I just talked recently about a book flight of from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil Lee Frankweiler, and another book called The 68 Rooms. And those are both books that are set at the at art museums. Or one time I have this book, I'm going to reach over and grab it right here. It's called In Pieces, which is actually, I think, this is the first one, In Pieces, by Rhonda Ortiz. The second one is called Adrift, and there's a third one coming out within the next year. Anyway, this one I paired with one called Fever 1793, which are that one. I can't remember the I can't remember the author of that one. But they're both set in the 1790s, and they talk about there was a yellow fever outbreak in Philadelphia at that time, which I knew nothing about. I was interested in history, and I knew nothing about that. And so I paired those 2 books together as kind of a, if you read this one and then read this one together, they kind of go together. And so I guess that's another reason that I like to do the further reading suggestions in my book box. It's almost like a book flight. You can find all of these kind of go together in a little family kind of way. So anyway, I thought that was kind of a fun thing. So it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. The answer to that was Tale of Two Cities. So, all right, we'll do one more before I wrap it up for the day. And let's see, which one should I do? Let's see here. Okay, I'll do one. It's not the right time of year, but I'm going to do it anyway because I just think it's such a funny one. Here it is. It is not everyone who has your passion for dead leaves. Do you know what book that's from? And bonus points if you know who said it. Put it in the chat. If you know who said that one, pop it in the chat there. And I will let you know if you're right. And I will reveal the answer in just a little bit. And then we will wrap it up here with a T-Note giveaway. So if you want to receive a T-Note from me, stay tuned. And I will do a little giveaway at the end of this. So going off from the book flights and the further reading suggestions, because, as readers, as book lovers, we just, we just can't get enough, right? We just want to keep knowing, what else is out there to read, and not to like be overwhelming or anything, but just to simply see the variety, that we have, the options that we have to read, and to be able to pick from those. So, going back to D.E. Stevenson, who, of course, is the author of Listening Valley, that's in this spring book box, and the author of Victoria Cottage, and so many other very good ones. If you like D.E. Stevenson, or we could do it conversely too, but you might also like the Mitford books. Jan Karon is the author of those, and those are just, such gentle, laid back books that kind of just follow the lives of the characters and the things that are going on in their everyday lives, and the struggles they have and the triumphs they have. And you just kind of feel kind of like you're intimately acquainted with these people in the village, and their, I'm not going to say little problems. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say with their concerns, let's just say that, or their heart, the things that are close to their heart. And you kind of, feel for them, and you're like, how are they going to, continue, how are they going to make a decision? What are they going to continue to do? And so I feel like if you like D.E. Stevenson, you might like Jan Karon's books. Or conversely, if you like Jan Karon and the Mitford series, you might like D.E. Stevenson. Oh, Anna Rose is here. Hello, Anna Rose. I can't see anymore. If somebody's here, I can't see unless you comment, because I have a new technology here. So if you're here, just wave to me in the chat, anyone. But I can see that Anna Rose is here. It's totally Sense and Sensibility. You are correct. Sense and Sensibility is where that quote is from. It is not everyone who has your passion for dead leaves. Eleanor says that to Marianne, because Marianne is like, waxing poetic about fall and about, who, the beauty of the leaves. And I have to say that even though typically I have an affinity to Eleanor and her way, in this instance, I am with Mary Ann. I love to look at the fall leaves. I think that they're so beautiful. And I too have an affinity to dead leaves. So that's correct, Anna Rose. Sense and Sensibility. Wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. That's awesome. Well, I think that was the last one for that one today. Like I said, this is the last live that I'm doing for this week to wrap up my launch week. I'll still have a couple posts, but I have just been it's just been so lovely to talk to you all this week as I've launched the spring box out into the world. Like I said, I have one left. So if you would like to join our cozy community of readers and get a box yourself in your home, I would love to send that to you. You can sign up at smallhomecomforts.com. But for now, I would like to do a T-Note giveaway. If you are here and if you would like me to send you some happy mail, I will, a little T-Note, I call it. I would love to get that into the mail for you. So a couple disclaimers before we do the giveaway. It's not sponsored by Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or anyone else. It's just coming straight from me. And you don't have to do anything. No purchase necessary to do this. You just have to be here, and you have to put a little emoji in the comments. So if you would like me to send you a T-Note, we'll do a little giveaway. Just put your favorite emoji in the comments. It could be a teapot. It could be a umbrella for spring. It could be a heart. It could be anything you want. Just let me know that you would like me to send you one. And I will put your name in my little teacup here, and I will draw it. Provided we have people who would like to enter. But you do have to be willing to DM me your mailing address that you would like it to be mailed to, and I would be happy to do that. So I should have brought with me, I usually at the end of these book chats, and I did it last night. We had such a fun book chat last night for what were we talking about? We were talking about World War II novels, books that were written or published during World War II. And that was just so much fun. And I usually finish those with what I'm reading now, which I didn't bring today because I told you all last night. But right now I'm reading a Georgette Heyer mystery novel. So earlier in this, I told you that that I like Georgette Heyer's historical romance, but she also wrote 12 detective novels, and I'm reading through those this year, which you've probably seen on my account. And The Unfinished Clue is the one that I'm reading for March, and it is fantastic. It's so good. I don't have it here to show you, I think because it's next to my bed because I went to bed reading it last night. So that one is kind of fun. I usually like to end with that. So, well, I don't see any. I think maybe this is not the best time for people coming. So I don't see any entries into the Tea Note giveaway. So I'm gonna just wrap it up there. I won't. I'll just show you my teacup that I would have that I would have drawn from. But this has been such a lovely little chat book, friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me. Yeah, I will be back next Thursday night for my regular bookish chat. But in the meantime, I am Small Home Comforts on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course, smallhomecomforts.com if you want to hear more about the book box or if you just want to connect with me there. I love connecting with other readers who enjoy these same kind of books. So until then, have a wonderful afternoon, happy weekend, and I will be talking to you.